I went with the Nose Hair Bender,
Cool.
and that's it's an IPA. It's actually a New England IPA, and it's unique in the sense that, well, first of all, I don't drink a lot of IPAs, but this one is dry hopped, and I can definitely tell it. But on top of that, it just has a very citrusy aroma, oranges specifically.
And for listeners who don't know, Dave Stevens is technically from New England.
Technically, I am.
He
yes,
is from Vermont.
I'm born and raised.
Yes, he's a Vermontian.
Yes.
He's not really one of us. I'm just kidding. He's
I'm one of us now that I've lived here for
he's one of us.
what 25
years.
You're
You're one of
like
us.
That.
You're not a New Englander. I don't even think of you New Englander anymore. I mean,
no,
nothing. So Sterling, what'd you get?
I've got the number 10 Tap series, which
Tart
is a
IPA.
tart IPA. It's sour IPA, and honestly, it tastes like orange juice.
They didn't really tell you what's in it. It's more of a
they don't.
Dry hop with Citra and Laurel. And it's a collaboration to be revealed. Another collaboration to be revealed on April 20th in the tap room.
Yeah, I think it's very good.
And it looks like they're releasing it in stores, 16-ounce cans.
I'd highly recommend it. It tastes a lot like I said, a lot like orange juice. It's got a nice little tart kick at the beginning, and it's pretty smooth.
So once again, thanks to 56 Brewing, Tyler, Danielle. Guys, come on out. Unlike previous tap rooms we've been in, this place has not only board games, but has pinball.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
And I took a picture of it, so the Instagram feed will have it.
Yeah, my first impression when we walked right through the front door, I thought, this is a little smaller than maybe what we've been used to, but actually it's not, in the sense that it has that whole upper level.
It does,
and their brewing area is also massive too. So the building itself is not small.
Yeah, it's very deceiving.
And the other thing, I can see just looking outside, and we've been saying this for the last few months, but it does look like they have a rather large patio that actually bends around the building. So it's just another place that we can see. I can't wait to see what it looks like in the summer.
Which
might come soon.
We're getting there. It's
supposed to be 60 on Saturday.
I know.
And I think here in Minneapolis, we lost, I think, 50% of the...
More than that.
Oh, more than 50% of total snow. Yeah.
So,
we only have maybe 3 inches on the ground in our house.
Oh, wow.
Well, I've got more than that.
Okay.
I've got at least 6 or 7 still.
Oh, wow.
But I want to give a shout out to John Andruski, who every time we bring up the home opener keeps saying we're going to have a damn blizzard on the opener.
I'm going to punch him if we have a
blizzard. I'm going to punch him right in the
I don't
face.
mind, but I'm going to punch him.
Yeah, I'm going to.
I mean, we're going to be under the canopy. It's not going to matter.
You just love it, though. We're sitting here a month away, or just about a month, maybe even under a month now, technically. We don't know. It could be a blizzard. Well, or it could be 75 degrees.
Last year on April 13th, we had a blizzard.
Yes.
We did.
And we had to postpone the podcast when we first started this podcast. We postponed because of this blizzard.
Right. It was bad.
And in years past, not last year, but in years past, I was already golfing by this weekend. I was out on the golf course. So you just never know what we're going to get.
It's ridiculous.
Well, when I was in Colorado, I was golfing in January.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, easily.
So we want to talk in this part about FC Madison.
Yeah.
And before we get into them a little bit, I wanted to mention that FC Madison, following in our footsteps, now has a podcast.
Our footsteps or Loons' footsteps?
I think our footsteps.
Okay.
I'm not going to say the Loons because they have their own podcast, but FC Madison's doing things a little differently because they're lower league and they're doing things that kind of how would I put it? A little more crazy type of fun type of stuff.
They're being fun. I initially said it was unprofessional, but I don't like that. I mean, after I said it, I was like, that's not what I mean. It's just a little bit more cool, laid back.
Yeah.
Having fun with it. It reminds me of NASL days.
Yes.
And
it reminds me of minor league baseball.
Yeah.
And that's probably what it should be. But getting back to the podcast, Let Me Be Forward. It is the official podcast of Forward Madison.
Again, it is Let Me Be Forward. The hosts are Baxter and Maddie.
Yep.
And they'll be hosting that.
First show's coming up this week.
It's coming this week.
Yep.
I did a little recon on Baxter. He actually started this. He's got a whole podcast network that he started a couple years ago, and he's got a bunch of different podcasts on this network. And I think it's great that FC Madison went to him and said, "Hey, can you do a podcast for us? And he's like, absolutely, I'll do one for you.
Yeah.
And I got a feeling this is going to be a great podcast for fans of FC Madison.
Yeah, I hope he has a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, and he should. If this guy listens to this podcast, if either him or Manny listens to this podcast, we're behind you 100%. It's great you guys have a podcast out there now.
Definitely.
By the way, they do allow dogs in 56 Brewing.
It's a very dog-friendly.
Dog-friendly. And I do want to state that we will be out in Madison on June 15th, I believe. Yes, the weekend of June 15th. I believe that's
15th,
the weekend.
16th? Yeah,
15th, 16th.
right.
We will be out in Madison.
Was it Tucson?
Tucson
match.
Yeah.
We'll be out in Madison, not only to watch the game, to do a podcast from Madison at a local brewery probably with some people from Madison, fans, maybe some other special guests. We don't know yet, but we will be there.
We're working on it.
Or maybe you do the podcast in the hotel room. Who knows?
Right?
I don't know.
We could do it from the Capitol steps.
Would they allow us to do that?
Probably not.
Yeah. Well, you're from Wisconsin, Sterling. You know more about their rules there than I do.
We might need a longer extension cord to make that happen, or have a shorter podcast depending on the battery life.
Right.
But I'm excited to get out there and see the FC Madison play some games. Sterling got a shirt.
Yes.
From FC Madison.
I finally got it. I say that a bit tongue-in-cheek because I ordered it like 20 days ago. It initially said it was 10 to 12 days delivery. Mm-hmm. And on day 17, I finally said, I should maybe just follow up with them.
Stolen.
And, so I just said, I just want to make sure it's not lost. It turned out they ran out faster than they thought they would.
Of course.
It didn't get sent out. And I was going to note who I interacted with by email. She was very nice.
Yeah, I like the color. I like the blue color with the pink,
and
pink
think
highlight.
We got it on pictures.
I think we do, yeah.
So,
have you? So, do you have your flamingo up in your lawn then?
So, I've looked for them.
Okay.
I mentioned that I looked for them, and Sarah seemed a bit on the fence about whether or not I should have a flamingo in the yard. I'm still getting one.
Maybe he should be like over on the side somewhere.
I think it should be prominently placed in front.
Well, if you win that, they have a contest.
That's right.
If you win the contest, you get a flamingo every week.
Something like that, yeah.
And they deliver it to you.
Yeah.
And my thought was, and I was going to ask him this.
They personally deliver it to you.
But I was going to ask him this. I'm like, what about if I won one and I live in Otsego, Minnesota? You're going to personally deliver? See, my deal is, if I won it, I would give. Well, I think I would give it away to somebody in Madison.
Tony, I think you just basically ruled yourself out from potentially winning this contest.
Well, but I would. If I won it, But here's what I would do, and I thought about this. If I applied for the contest, which I didn't, I would give it to somebody in Madison. I'd be like, here you go. I just applied because it's fun.
Yeah, give me one.
Give me one. Send me one in the mail with a sign, with an autograph. Somebody, I don't care. And then I'll pay for it, and then everybody else can or rotate it. I could pick 51 other people in Madison, rotate it per week.
Yeah, I'd like to try to find a loon as well.
We have a lot live ones around here. Could you get a loon around here?
So, are you suggesting I kill one? Because that would be illegal.
No. I'm talking like, could you maybe get one as a pet? Have a loon sanctuary. Have like a loon sanctuary, maybe in your backyard.
I don't have any water. They can't walk there.
Put a little, you get a kiddie pool. You get a kiddie pool.
I do have a kiddie pool.
There you go. Put one else out there.
It might work.
Or get PK, the loon.
Chain him to the front of the patio.
Yeah, why not?
I've got a deck.
No, we can't. We can't do.
Put out some food.
What does PK eat? I'm just kidding. We're not going to get into that. Let's talk more about FC Madison.
Yeah. So, they had a couple games since our last episode, preseason. Mm-hmm. First was with Crichton University. They did lose that 4-1. Interesting thing about that was, and I don't know the background of this, they're second in command for keepers. Mm-hmm. Ryan Coulter was actually playing for Crichton.
What?
I don't. Like I said, I don't know the background.
How does that work?
For some reason, he was playing goal for Crichton. Apparently, he did a pretty good job because they won. The second game was against UW Parkside. It was a 7-1 win. Omsberg and Toy both had 2 goals each.
I saw that.
I saw that. A couple
Yeah, I
braces.
mean, I don't know what Omsberg was doing.
I don't know.
Well, it must have been set pieces.
Yeah, it must have been, yeah.
Good to see, though.
But Leonard, Eaton, and Bement also had single goals. Manley played as well. Started even. And their next, and I believe its final preseason game, is against Marquette on the 30th.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was kind of my question to you before we came back on, is when does their USL
And
regular
being
season
our
start?
Forward Madison segment, I should know this. I don't know if it's the 6th against Cincinnati, I believe, or the 13th. But it's coming up.
And the 4 guys who went down there from the Loons all came back now.
Yeah.
So St. Clair is back, and those guys back. So, and then we did have, what was the signing we had that we shipped them directly to Madison?
Yeah.
I can't remember the guy's name.
Allie, his first
Allie.
name is.
Okay. Is he starting for them, or is he just kind of on the bench?
No, he did not feature in the game.
Okay.
The last game.
All right. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of that this year, going back and forth. There'll be players from United going down to Madison and vice versa. It's going to happen, which is why we're featuring kind of a Madison segment on our shows, because they're close. They are a lower league team. We're excited about them. I'll give a shout out to both their Facebook page and their supporters pages. They have been awesome since they started up.
And there's the Union now, and La Barra is the Spanish one. Fantastic.
They've been open to everything. They've made some comments. They've done some crazy things on Twitter.
And speaking of Twitter and their social media, I mean, they've really promoted their jersey, and I mean, it's a good-looking jersey. To
I was
going to
bring that up.
I mean, because it's been all over the place.
Yeah,
but I mean, I think the reviews are in, and I mean, everybody loves it. Supporters and non-supporters are alike.
I actually might pick one of those up for our podcast. I was thinking about it.
I really like the goalie jersey. It's that black with the flamingo logo.
Yeah.
The crest on it. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Although the fact that says, I know Dairyland's a big sponsor.
Right. It's a bit cliche.
It is. So that's why I'm saying I'm going to pick it up to wear at the podcast. That's probably the one time I'll wear it.
Right.
Unless we go out there again next year, which we probably will. Yeah. Then I'll wear it again next year. But
it would only make sense for me to get one, and I actually should considering the business that I'm in, and 95% of the places that I go to, I travel for work, are cheese factories and dairy milk plants, and I do a lot of work in Wisconsin as such.
Could you wear that to work?
I certainly could. The problem in my line is 90% of the time I'm wearing like a white smock over it. Okay. So it almost doesn't matter what I wear, because I'm going to have something
So then you should get the pink T-shirt version of mine.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because it's going to be obvious what you're wearing.
Yeah.
There you go. Could SC Madison make a white schmuck of their uniform on a white schmuck?
Now that would be convenient.
That would be pretty cool.
That'd be awesome.
But rolling in with the Dairyland sponsored prominently on the front of my shirt wouldn't hurt. Yeah,
that'd be nice.
I mean,
and maybe even get a loon stuck in there somewhere, so you can be fully
garbed up.
And why not? Let's just get the lunacy logo on it too.
Why not?
Yep.
Yeah.
Why not? So once again, we're going to be focusing on FC Madison. Every podcast will have a little segment after the break. We'll talk about what's going on there, the games they've had coming up. And again, we'll be down there. So if you guys want to join us, I'm sure there'll be announcements coming up. Let's get into Allianz Field.
Yeah, so the open house is this week.
Yes.
22nd.
Yes, and they are opening up the brewery, or what do you call it, brew pub?
The brew hall.
Brew hall.
Yeah.
And
plus the Fanatic store.
To coincide with it, of course, if you're going to be drinking at the brew hall, we're going to put the merchandise right next door.
Right.
So if you drink a lot,
you're going to buy it.
Go get the merchandise.
And that's great.
Good idea.
It's something that I don't think about a lot, but the fact that brew hall is going to be open year-round, game days and non-game days alike. And so if you go down there on a non-game day, there'll be parking available.
Yep.
So you'll be able to just pull right in there. And I think, and then that allows you to overlook the field, get an early look at that. And that the grand opening, did you say it was? It's next Friday, the 22nd?
Next Friday, yes.
11 to 7. It's open for anyone.
perfect.
Okay, yeah.
I fly in from Denver at 7:30 p.m.
Okay.
So I'm going to just
All right.
miss it.